to you. I still remember the journey and my 4-year-old heart leaping with excitement as I peered out the back of the window of this old pickup truck my parents were driving, and I saw the Dallas city lights for the very first time. I was so excited. This was an adventure, but I'm not sure this is the way my parents felt, because they decided to move to Texas because they wanted to escape the culture of their old lifestyle, as well as escape the dysfunction of their families that still live in our hometown in Minnesota. And you know the feeling when you know it's the right decision for your family and you're excited for new life, and yet you still fear the worst. My parents literally, they took a blind leap of faith, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle for them, especially back in the day when there was no internet to find jobs or a place to live. And so they drove down here with $2,500 to their name, not knowing where they were gonna get a job and not knowing where they were going to live. Now, even though it was hard in the beginning days, by the way, they did find a job and they did find a place to live, obviously, but my siblings, I have a brother and sister and myself, who all still live here in Texas, we say it was the best decision of their lives. So many made the leap in the last couple of years to move to Texas, and I wonder if you're feeling, is it too late for me? When is the best time to buy a home? Should I wait? And isn't the market tanking? What if you're dreaming of moving to Texas has nothing to do with the market? What if the best time to move to Texas is really simple? What if the best time is when it's right for you? Not based on what I say, not based on what another YouTuber's doom and gloom says, not even based on the media or the market, but what if the best time is when it's right for you? But Dana, what if the market continues to go down? And that is a valid concern. And that's also real estate. It goes up and then it goes down, and then it goes up and then it goes down, and then over the long term, it goes up, at least in the course of US history. And listen, it's okay if you don't agree with me. You can put all your comments below, it's okay. Now listen, when it comes to when you should buy a home, or anytime you're buying a home, the rule of thumb is, and it never changes, don't buy a home unless you know or are pretty certain that you're gonna have that home for 3 years or more. And that never changes in any market. I never recommend you buy a home if you think you may be moving 1 year later. Unless you do what we do, we purchase a home, we move into it for a few years, and then we rent it out and buy another home. That is actually a fantastic strategy to become a millionaire. If that's the one thing you do, just think of how impactful that can be to generations, to your children and their children. That's my philosophy. Buy real estate and hold on to it forever. So let's talk about the market going down. My biggest regret was in 2008. I was afraid that the market was going to tank and that it would never go back up again. So we let go of our properties. We had several rental properties. So my biggest regret in 2008 is that I didn't scoop up more property in 2008, 2009, 2010. You know, when you see an opportunity, but you feel scared because everyone around you is doing something else. And listen, everyone was scared. In the media, it was doomsday. And guys, 2008 was a legit crash. They were giving loans to people who should never, they wouldn't qualify in today's world. They've put many things in place to make sure that doesn't happen again. The reason of today's market going down is that interest rates are going up. The feds are doing that intentionally so that the inflation goes down. But listen, it's not going to be forever. When do you think the best time to purchase a home would be? Let's think about this. Well, do you think it was the best time when everyone was in the market in 2021? If you want to know when the best time to purchase, it's whenever the prices are going down. They are going down now. They're going to continue going down in 2023. In 2024, They may still, we'll just have to see how it goes. It may still be going down, but it also may be turning around in 2024. And I know elections, the presidential elections, and the feds are not necessarily impacted, but I still wonder if I still have a sneaky feeling that by the time the presidential elections in 2024 happen, I'm gonna suspect we're gonna be on the upswing in 2024. So if it has nothing to do about when's the best time for your family, which is the number one time to move, is when you know it's right for you, then I would say from a housing perspective, 2023 and maybe the beginning of 2024 might be some good time to scoop up property. Oh, but Dana, what about the interest rates? Let's talk about the interest rates and when is the best time to buy a home, because no one likes to buy a home with a high interest rate. So the first thing the Fed's announced is that they're going to continue increasing interest rates until they see a change in the market. Not really in the market, but inflation. And so we can anticipate interest rates continuing to rise in 2023. We're not sure about 2024 yet. And which means if you want to buy according to interest rate, the sooner the better. If you want to buy according to house prices, 2023 is probably best. But let's talk about this. Home price, when you purchase a home, that price never changes. But the interest rate, even though it's up, it will go down. If it never goes down, well, dear Lord, we want to get in at whatever price it is. But the interest rates fluctuate. So we can always refinance and get a lower interest rate, but we can never get a new purchase price, right? So with that in mind, there are some strategies on reducing your interest rate, some creative ones that we can ask for sellers to get your interest rate reduced. Just know that purchase price never changes, so it's good to buy when the competition is low. Refinance when the interest rates come back down. It's a quick story. I bought my first home at the age of 20, believe it or not, and the interest rate was 8.25%. And I was happy. I was super happy. And now at the age of 20, I didn't quite understand what 8.25% meant. And we did eventually refinance at 6.25%, which I thought was freaking amazing. But I was happy, and you know why? Because we bought a home and it was within our budget. We could afford it. So what if the most important goal when buying a home in regards to interest rates and your mortgage is that you buy within your budget, right? I would say that's the most important goal. And then when interest rates come down, great, you refinance and your payment is lower. So you can live below your means even more. So I would say look at your payment. Don't ever buy a home that is above your comfort level. So listen, what if in 2023 you decided to buy a home when the competition is low? You can actually choose your city and the neighborhood and negotiate a home price. Yes, I'm being a little sassy because in 2020 and 2021, even if you had cash, you weren't guaranteed to find a home in the city of your choice. That's craziness. So what if you decided to buy a home when the competition is low and then you refinance your interest rate later or come up with one of these interest rate hacks? So let's go back to why you're here, okay? When is the best time to move to Texas? And the answer is simple: when it's right for you. So when is the best time to buy a home? Well, there's 3 simple things. 1, when you know it's right for you. 2, when it's within your budget. And 3, when you know you're gonna live in the home for 3 years or more. And it's usually better when everyone is not trying to buy a home at the same time. That's a clue. Use your best judgment that you know is right for your family. So if your desire is to move to Texas, do what's in your heart to do. And if it's not right for you, that's okay too. If you want to get more information about moving to Texas or when it's the right time, fill out the Dream Home questionnaire in the link below to schedule a one-on-one Zoom consultation with one of my most amazing agents, and we train them to put your interests first.